Paolo Ribaldini. Did I say that right?
Yeah, that's correct.
Awesome. So you're a singer, musician, and vocal coach?
Correct. To
Awesome.
all of those.
Well,
Guilty as charged.
well, welcome to Gym Rock Crew.
Thank you very much. Thank you for having me. My pleasure.
You're welcome. Tell us a little bit more about yourself.
As I said, I'm a singer mostly, and then a vocal coach. I teach privately and also in a music university here in Finland, where I've been living for the last 12 years. I've been in the last, I would say, 3 to 4 years, I've been touring, mostly Europe, with several bands as a singer. And yeah, I like working out. I like going to the gym. Probably this is why I'm here talking to you.
Yeah, so this is exactly what we do, metal and fitness. I see you had a really busy tour schedule somewhere in March or April.
I think it was more like January and February.
Okay.
But also the summer has been really busy. I've been basically playing every weekend at least 1 or 2 gigs. So yeah, it's been a hectic summer, let's say so.
Yeah. I saw some of your covers and you can hit some really high notes. I was like, whoa. There was
Oh, thank you.
AC/DC's. You shook me all night long. I was like, what? That is insane. And you also sang something in Japanese. What the hell? You don't speak Japanese.
Yeah, that's true. I don't speak Japanese, unfortunately. I think I will try and speak it one day. I will try and learn because it's a language that really fascinates me, and it's a culture that really fascinates me. But so far, I've been just good enough at faking it, you know. I'm lucky that I have a couple of Japanese friends who check my enunciations of the lyrics, and so yeah, I've been having fun with a couple of Japanese songs too.
Yeah. Well, it sounded really good. I don't speak a word of Japanese, but it sounded authentic.
Thank you very much. Yeah, I had a lot of fun actually doing it. So
I could tell.
More of that in the future for sure.
Yeah. All right. So let's start with some quick fire questions.
All right, shoot me.
What's on your workout playlist? Give me your top 3 songs.
Oh, that's so difficult. My top 3 songs. I wasn't prepared for this. Well, let's take one Beast in Black songs because they're my good friends and they're such a talented band. So I don't know. Let's say Blade Runner by Beast in Black. It's a song I really love, but I love them also. You can pick any song by Beast in Black. I'm a fan. And then maybe this one that I sang also on my Instagram, Ei no yo uta, by this Japanese band, the Alfie, which is like a 50 years old band. They have a very, very long career. And then one more, maybe I would say Gates of Babylon by Rainbow.
Okay, these are on your workout playlist, right?
Yeah.
Cool. I got to check them out then.
But I have a lot of different stuff on my workout playlist. I have, Lorna Shore, some singing, songwriting music like Paul Simon, something like that. Some classic rock like Boston, Journey, Foreigner. Like it's not really just in one box. It's spread around like all over the place.
Nice. Okay, so what's your favorite exercise and why?
Well, do we have to stick to the gym workout? No. My favorite exercise, I would probably say right now, the leg press, the 45 angle leg press. And this is a surprise for me because I used to hate leg day. But in the last few years, I've learned to love it. And right now, I'm not doing very heavy squats or very heavy deadlifts because I get a problem which is called exertion headache. So I still have to find out how to, lift that heavy of a weight in those big compound exercises without getting headaches. But the leg press is as good as any leg exercise, and with that I have no problem. So I am just, loading one more weight at the time. So I really like it because I get to lift a lot of weight with that.
Yeah. I find that exercises where I can progress really quickly, those are actually my favorite, right?
Oh yeah, I understand you for sure, for sure.
Yeah. So then
What's your favorite exercise?
me, you're going to be surprised. It's,
Yeah, of course.
it's Bulgarian split squats.
Oh my goodness. Oh, you're a brave woman.
I
Yeah.
absolutely love them.
But it's very good. It's very good.
Yeah.
Yeah, I should do
Yeah.
more of those actually. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay, so then let's go to your least favorite exercise and why. It's not Bulgarian split
My
squats, is
least,
it?
yeah, my least favorite exercise probably is arm curl. Yes, and it's not that I don't have biceps. I have done a lot of those, but it's just that nowadays I can hit. I mean, I can create such a good connection between the nervous system and the muscle itself that I'm really, squeezing it. And yeah, it's so draining and it's so painful for me, like in a good way painful, but it's tough. So every time I have to do those 3, 4, 5 sets of arm curls with the dumbbells, I'm like, brace yourself, the pain is gonna come, you know.
Yeah.
So that's my least favorite exercise, but at the same time, it's really good.
Yeah.
So
Cool. Okay, let's get into the big questions then. What do you do to stay fit while touring?
mostly, well, probably the first thing is before the tour, I Google where each and every one of the venues where I'm gonna play is, and I Google the nearest gym. So I try to see ahead of time whether I have or not the chance to go and work out there. In Europe, most gyms have this kind of, one free trial thing that you can go there, maybe just leave your name and email address and phone number, and they let you in for free for like one time. So I don't always have to pay, fortunately. But in general, I try to see where is the gym that I can work out at. The second thing is I really try to invest on sleeping, especially if I'm touring in a tour bus. It's even better because at least I have the same bunk every night. I have the same place where I'm gonna stay every night, and for me it's a little bit easier than changing the hotel every time. And so sleeping is really important. And then the third thing is also eating. So I try to, of course, when you are on tour, it's not the same as being at home where you prepare your own meals or you know exactly what you're gonna eat at what time and stuff like that. But I try to kind of find healthy food and then a little bit just eyeball, the amount of food that I'm eating so that I don't eat too much, but not too little, so I can stay in a good level of energy. I'm not, weak or drained or anything.
Cool. So when you're not touring, then what does your fitness routine look like?
Well, mostly I try to go to the gym 4 times a week, and my workouts consist of first of all mobility training, like this mobility or stretching exercises that kind of prepare my body to the workout. Then I lift the weights and I put them back in place. I don't leave them, all scattered around the gym. Yes, I'm talking exactly to the person who does that on the other, and who's watching this interview. So yes, and then after that, I usually run 15 to 20 minutes because I want to incorporate aerobic training in my workout because I want to keep also good cardio, capacity, a good cardio condition. It helps me a lot when running on the stage or even for the breathing, for singing, it's really important. And yeah, this is what I do in the gym. At the gym, then when I'm at home, I try more or less to stay on a balanced diet. Doesn't mean that I weigh anything that I eat, but mostly I try to eat, healthy, nutritious food, whole grain food if it's about carbs. And then every now and then I just strain from that. I eat a hamburger with fries or a pizza or ice cream. But, that's not the rule. That's more the exception.
Yeah.
And, that's more or less what I do. I have two very good physiotherapists that help me, get back on the saddle when I get some kind of injury or stuff like that, or maybe some muscle contraction, muscle strain or something like that. Have a very, very good physio and osteopathist here in Finland, and one also in Italy where I come from.
Nice. You mentioned some really important components that are very overlooked in fitness. So there was sleep, there was mobility training, and then there's also what you just mentioned. So getting that recovery from a physiotherapist and stuff. So awesome. So these are things that are really people ignore, but they are so important, especially if you train intensely.
Yep, exactly. And I think, maybe I know that on the internet, on YouTube and Instagram, there are a lot of influencers, a lot of people who speak about those things, that how important they are, and it's a brilliant thing. I would just hope that more people would speak about it, because there's also a little bit of a myth around how much you should train, and you should never give up, never don't leave even an inch, but that's not really, if you want to train natural, that's not how the body works. Just ask any professional athlete, and they actually invest a lot of their time and mental energy on recovering, on sleeping. But that's the same also with vocal fitness and vocal health. If you sing extreme stuff and you are kind of doing this athletic performance with your voice every day, and you never take a break, you never rest, then you're gonna, you're gonna just open a ditch for yourself, and you're gonna fall in it at some point. Yeah. So it's really important.
Totally makes sense. So do you train differently than when you're preparing for like a long tour?
You mean physically or vocally?
Well, both.
Well, physically, no. Actually, I just do my routine workout, or my routine workouts. At this time, I have 4 different, programs that I do, that I do every week. And vocally, I try, as I said, to balance between practicing and resting my voice. But mostly I would say I try to keep the recovering and the resting part very, in the box, very, very good before the tour. Because I know that if I leave on tour and I'm underslept, under-recovered, I'm already, stressed and wearied out and too tired, I'm not going to perform well. So I think the most important thing is resting enough and charging the batteries enough that you can leave for a short or long tour with enough power, enough resistance, strength, endurance, and all that jazz.
Yeah, so the artists I've spoken to here usually ramp up their cardio before tours, but you said that you run after your strength training workout, so I guess you already have that endurance built. You don't have to kind of do anything more in that sense, right?
Yeah, probably also because my cardio, the rhythm at which I run is not exactly slow. So I do, let me see, the other day I ran 4 kilometers, almost 5 kilometers in 20 minutes. I mean, of course, I'm not a professional runner and I have a lot of weight to carry around, so it's not easy, but I try also to push myself. It's not just like this little quiet jog. I really try to run, because I need to develop a good lung capacity and a good resistance, also good endurance and stamina. So I don't really ramp up the cardio because I think I do already enough, and then I'm lazy. So
does this because running can be quite hard on your legs, right? Do you feel like it affects leg day?
I haven't really thought deeply about that. I would say no, because usually before leg day I have a day off, so I don't usually do workout and then the next day leg day. I usually have a day off, and then I always run after the workouts, after the weight workouts. So maybe it's the other way around, that the leg day affects the running. But also, well, probably if I wasn't running, I could lift a little bit more. But it's always a matter of giving and taking and finding, the golden balance, or the middle way, because I don't want to be a professional power lifter or a professional bodybuilder. So I'm an athlete in another sense. I'm a vocal athlete, and I want to, have a good physical shape overall. And cardio is an important part of that. So maybe I lift a little bit less, 1-2% less on the weights, but I get other benefits. And actually, and to be honest, I don't want to be, 60 and all. When I'm gonna be 60, I don't want to be all battered up and not even being able to walk up the stairs. I want to be in a good fit condition if I manage, if I can do it, and training cardio is an important part of that.
Absolutely, yeah. And I know that there's in the bodybuilding world, there's a lot of hate towards cardio, But what I found interesting was when I worked with a bodybuilding coach, there's a lot of emphasis on cardio. So, yeah. So I think it's just a misconception among people who lift that, oh, you shouldn't do cardio, or cardio sucks, or whatever. There's all this stuff about cardio. I think it's just that people tend to overdo cardio, and then obviously, they don't get the bodybuilding body. But yeah, it's like you said, finding that balance is so important, and you clearly listen to your body and you know what's best for what you're doing on stage. So that's perfect. It works for you.
Oh, thank you. I wish I listened to my body more. Then I wouldn't have to go to the physiotherapist so often. but that's another story maybe.
Yeah.
No, I'm joking. Yeah, nowadays I'm much better at listening to my body. But I also had my years when I was, overtraining, training too hard, resting too little, and I paid my dues with that. That's why I think I'm a little bit closer to that golden balance nowadays. I'm not there yet, but I'm closer.
We learn.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
So then, speaking of that, did you have any injuries on or off stage?
Well, not major ones, not like very serious ones. But I can tell you, well, last time I was on a European tour with Delane, which was in January and February. There was everything going on, because at some point we were just joking with the bass player, who's a very dear friend of mine, and I lifted him up from the ground, and he's, like 185 and probably weighs considerably more than me. And and then my diaphragm and my intercostal muscles went, no, you're not gonna do that. So I was like, oh, like this. Yeah, and even breathing was the most painful thing ever, but I survived that. And what else? I have a little bit of problems with the shoulder, because the biomechanics have gone into a wrong pattern. So I have to try and relearn how to do certain things, relearn how to implement certain movements, and implement a good posture for the shoulder. But other than that, no, I haven't had any major injuries like, like a herniated disc or broken cartilages or ripped tendons, anything like that, fortunately. I've been very lucky also with that. Yeah.
Yeah, cool.
Yeah, fingers crossed.
Shoulder injuries are so common, like it's ridiculous how easily you can injure your shoulder. But yeah,
Oh, yeah.
I'd noticed that injuries just kind of force you to relearn things like properly, so it's like it forces you to
Yep.
slow down and kind of, look at stuff again and kind of
Yep.
retrace your steps and do it right. So somehow it's a
Yeah,
good
yeah,
thing.
yeah. Yeah, and also if you think about it, like why so many people have shoulder or upper back problems, just even people who don't work out, probably you meet a lot of them in your professional practice too. And it's because this area of the body is, so crucial. It's the focus of so many things, even, stress or most people who work in an office or with their computer sitting at a desk, they do it like this. So they overuse certain muscles and underuse certain muscles. So it's a very complex and also complicated, picture. The whole of the picture is very difficult to grasp and to keep in balance.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Yeah, that's true. Okay, so on tour when you're, training, on tour when you're kind of playing every day, night after night, how do you protect yourself from not getting sick?
Well, that's a good question. To be honest, I don't do anything specific in the sense that, I take a couple supplements that I also take in my daily life off tour, like D vitamin, C vitamin, omegas, and that's more or less it. And then I rely on the fact that because in general terms I am in a good fit shape and I have a okay healthy body, that my immune system is gonna protect me from the germs and the viruses and so on. What I try to do is avoid too strong air conditioning, and I avoid, if I'm sweaty after the gig, maybe I don't go outside in the cold just before having dried up and changed my clothes. But other than that, you can't really do much because you change town every day, and maybe you went from Munich where it was 7 degrees and raining to, I don't know, Lyon or Strasbourg where it's 16 and sunny and warmer. And so the changes are the most terrible things for me. And then, of course, you meet a lot of people. You meet, different local stage hands and local crew every night. You meet different fans every night. And so, of course, you come into touch with a lot of different people who obviously, as we all do, carry bacteria and viruses and so on. So you can't really avoid it. I've come to terms with the fact that I try to, keep my body as healthy and fit as I can. And that is my part. That's my homework. And when my homework is done, if I get sick, then I get sick. It is what it is. But I've sung when I was very, very sick also. I remember this was a couple years ago in Germany with Skiltron. I remember clearly it was September 11th for some reason. And we were at a German festival and I was really sick, like knives down my throat or razor blades down my throat. I was really, really in a bad shape. And I was this close from pulling the gig, like just saying, sorry guys, I cannot do this. But then I tried to sing a little bit and I found out that, okay, my voice is okay, it's fine. I can sing. It's really painful, but even if I wasn't singing, it would still be really painful. So at this point, let's just rock and roll. And the gig went actually really, really well, even though I was in such a bad shape and constant pain. So, like, getting sick is not always a death sentence, even for a singer, you know.
Yeah, yeah. I think it's the fact that you are generally healthy, like your strength training and then, the cardio and the rest. You manage that so well that when you're going on tour, you kind of just, in general, protecting yourself better.
Yeah, but don't get me wrong, I still get
Yeah.
sick. You know, it's I wish that was enough to not get sick, but I still get sick, so it's take it or leave it.
Yeah. Okay, so do you have a pre-show routine?
Yes, I do. I usually try to do some stretching exercises and just very gently, you know, just to open mostly the muscles in my upper body, but also the back, you know, the lower back, the hamstrings, because I want my body to be as ready as I can to just sing and use my whole instrument. It doesn't only start from here. Like the singing instrument, the voice is a very holistic instrument actually. So that is what I do, some stretching and then some just vocal warm-ups, you know, like lip rolls, stuff like that. I sing a little bit, you know, quietly, like to myself. So I warm up the voice. But then towards the end of the tours, like the warm up can be 1 or 2 minutes because I'm already in that kind of tunnel, you know, I'm already in the mood and my body knows that, okay, tonight again at this time, you're going to use your voice in this way. So it's kind of, it clicks in a way, it goes into battle mode automatically, so to say.
That's cool, yeah. So it's basically you have to kind of warm up more at the start and then your body just adapts and then it's easier
Yeah,
as the tour goes on. Yeah, cool.
correct.
Cool,
Well
cool.
said. Yes.
Your favorite cheat meal, you're Italians. Your favorite cheat meal
Oh,
or guilty pleasure?
I would say pizza and ice cream. Yeah, pizza and ice cream.
No, you guys have the best, I mean, that's kind of redundant, but the best pizza and gelato like on the freaking planet.
Thank
Amazing.
you. Yeah, that's a
Like
big compliment.
I had ice cream every single day. Yeah, it was, oh my God, it was amazing. And the pizza as well. What's funny is I was just telling someone yesterday that the pizza in Italy, like the crust is really thin. There's hardly like any cheese, like just like, blotches of cheese everywhere. And then the tomato sauce, there's no oil. Like you can actually taste tomatoes, and I think the rest of the world has just ruined pizza, but but you
Oh,
guys just,
I
oh
don't
my
know.
God, that was just amazing.
Well, thank you very much. Yeah, we Italians are spoiled with food. Everything that you eat in Italy basically is good. So if it's done well, if it's prepared well,
Yeah.
yeah, that is
Yeah.
true. That is
Okay.
true.
So, okay. Do you smoke or have you ever done drugs?
No, I think I've smoked maybe 10, 15 cigarettes during my whole life. I've never been a smoker. And yeah, of course, I smoked some marijuana here and there, but you can really count the times on one hand. So I don't know why, but it didn't do anything to me. So I thought, okay, like this is not worth it, you know. So or maybe I just didn't smoke the right stuff. I don't know. But yeah, I'm pretty boring because I don't smoke, I don't drink alcohol. I quit drinking alcohol around 12 years ago. And yeah, maybe, you know, I've drank 2 or 3 shots in the last 10 years. One was Fernet and another one was a licorice, whatever shot that I had in Finland for a record release. But I mean, and if I go to a wedding, of course I will toast to the couple with a glass of champagne, whatever. And I'm not completely against drinking alcohol, but it really is not part of my everyday life. And nowadays you can have alcohol-free beers and ciders that taste quite good, unlike 10 years ago when they were mostly rubbish. But a lot of these, beer companies have really upped their game, and they have started to craft and make beers, produce beers that have no alcohol in it, but still are drinkable, taste good. So I'm totally fine with those. And that's a boring, healthy, very balanced life, living in the slow lane, so to say.
Yes, this is why you got invited to Jimrock Crew.
Oh, yeah.
I tried weed, but smoking weed, and it was awful. Like, first of all, it did nothing, absolutely nothing. And secondly, like, it was just, I don't smoke, like, I have never smoked. So my chest was just like, I am not taking this shit in, get it out. So I did try the brownies, and that really hit like hard, I should say.
Oh, yeah. Okay. Yeah. Well, also with that, I don't think it's a matter of black and white. I mean, if people want to have fun and they get something out of smoking a cigarette or weed or drinking a little bit to party with friends, I'm not against it. I'm not a crusader of any cause. So I'm not saying, oh, don't drink alcohol, don't smoke. If it rolls your boat, do it. But, maybe try to do it moderately, with keeping your head on your shoulders instead of up your ass. Sorry for my French. And try to do it responsibly so that you can enjoy it, but not destroy yourself and maybe not interfere with other people's life either.
Yeah, well said. What about musicians, like in general? Now you've been, when you're going on tours and stuff, do you find that musicians in general are getting like, blackout drunk, or are they being kind of more sober for their shows, or what's going on with the scene now? Are people getting healthier?
Yes, that's a very interesting question. And I'm very, very happy that you asked this, because I think there has been in the last 10 years quite big shift towards, in general, a healthier life for several reasons. Well, first of all, many people are drinking less and, taking less drugs. I cannot speak for those really huge bands like Mötley Crüe or Guns N' Roses, but in general, in the industry, I've seen much more healthier behavior, many people start to work out, and your channel is also, a testimony and an evidence of that, because you interview very famous musicians and very accomplished artists who have realized that, okay, if I take care of my body, my art, my performance, whether it is singing or drumming or playing the guitar or playing the ukulele or the bagpipes, whatever, is gonna benefit from that. And my life, my everyday life is gonna benefit from that. So I think that's really awesome, that there is this change, this big change going on. And it also makes the working environment much, much easier, much more pleasant, because believe me, having fun with your bandmates and with the crew every now and then, and well, I personally don't get shit-faced anymore, but hanging out with people who are a little bit drunk and are partying, it's super fun. Don't get me wrong, it's super fun, and you have really interesting conversations. You listen to a lot of interesting jokes and whatnot. But then if it starts happening every single day, it's a big, big, big energy drain, and the workflow is not good anymore, because so much energy goes just into recovering from that. And I personally am really happy and really grateful that there is this newly found awareness in the music industry, especially in heavy metal. I'm not really able to say what's going on in other genres, because I have a lot of friends who perform other styles of music here in Finland, but of course, mostly I'm in touch with the heavy metal scene, and I see a lot of, young guys or young girls, young performers in general, maybe drinking less or drinking non-alcoholic beverages and going to the gym or having a fitness hobby, whatever it is, cycling, running, swimming, boxing. So it's really great. I think it's a change for the better.
I love that because we want them to live longer, right? We want the artists to perform and give us more of that good stuff longer. So
yeah, exactly.
I've noticed the shift, and I'm really happy for that too.
Yep. But I can give you an example of that. Just the other day, I was in Wacken at the festival in Germany, and I met Ralf Schepers from the singer from Primal Fear, and he also sang on the first Gamma Ray albums. And the guy, he's almost 60. He just wipes the floor with me as far as physical shape is concerned. He's in a very good shape, and very, very sharp, very focused, great guy, great humor, and he also did fantastic on the stage. So it's just everything works together. He takes care of himself, and he can perform better on the stage, and so on. So
cool. Okay, so is there anything that you wanted to be really great at, like some sport, but you just never, you were never able to master it?
We're talking about sports now, right? Or do you mean
or it
in
could
general?
Be like for me, it's handstands. Like it could be anything.
Oh,
physical
yeah.
related.
In the gym, I would really love to be able to squat like big weights, heavy weights, like 200 kilos or something like that, which for me, for my size, I'm quite the small guy. So for me, it would be a quite considerable weight. If we take it outside the gym, I would really like to be able to box, which is a hobby that I took on for a while, but now I'm not really practicing it because I love boxing as a sport. And at some point I would really like to be able to practice that maybe a couple times a week and stuff like that. Yeah, that would be super cool.
Yeah. So speaking of boxing, it's also something that I've always wanted to do, but never had the chance to. My daughter now, she's 8 years old, and she's really interested in kickboxing, and I'm thinking maybe this might be my chance to kind of go with her. So yeah, it's such a great full body kind of move and workout. So yeah, it's definitely something that I would love to do as well.
Yes. But then you have to watch all the Rocky Balboa movies.
I've seen them all.
That's good. Those are great movies indeed.
Okay, last question. So if you could choose one person to train with, dead or alive, who would it be and why?
One sportsman to train with, dead or alive?
One person, not a sportsman. Anyone.
One musician. One person. Okay. I would probably say this American boxer, Marvin Hagler. He was a great star of middleweight and welterweight boxing in the 80s, and he was one of the so-called Four Kings. There's a beautiful documentary, I think, on Netflix about the Four Kings. So Marvin Hagler, Roberto Duran, and Sugar Ray Leonard and Thomas Hearns, and I definitely recommend you to watch it if you are into boxing. But even as life stories, those are so interesting. But Marvin Hagler was such a wonderful boxer with a great technique, great physical shape. Yes, write it down. That's great. Great physical shape, and I feel that he got maybe a little bit less recognition than he deserved because he wasn't that, photogenic. He wasn't that charismatic on TV like, I don't know, Muhammad Ali or Sugar Ray Leonard or Tyson. He was not this kind of sportsman that just pierces through the screen, but absolutely great boxer. And for many years after he retired, for many decades actually, he relocated to Italy, in Milan. And I have a funny story about that, because my high school's philosophy and history teacher, who then became a very good friend of mine after I graduated, he was also into boxing, and he once was visiting his brother in Milan, and he stumbled into Marvin Hagler just, across the street. And he said, "But sorry, are you Marvin Hagler?" "Yeah, I'm the very one, Marvin Hagler." And they went to lunch together. So my teacher afterwards told me, "Oh, I had lunch with the marvelous Marvin Hagler, and we talked about boxing and his career." Like, it's so, yeah, it's so, like, it's so cool and so unexpected, and so just out of anything that you would expect from life. But yeah, very cool. I would love to train with him, but probably I would get out dead, because he was famous for training really hard, And yeah, I would probably pick him. And maybe that's a less obvious choice than Muhammad Ali or Tyson or whatnot. So maybe that's a little bit more personal.
That's
but then
cool.
second
It's
best
unique.
would be Arnold Schwarzenegger too.
Oh yeah, that always comes out. Always.
Yes, of course.
Yeah. Okay, so that's the end of the questions. Is there anything you want to add?
Yeah, I would really love if music, could also bring more forth the importance of taking care of yourself, for people, because I see that a lot of, especially people who listen to heavy metal music, maybe not all of them have clear the importance of taking care of your own body, and just not to look good in the mirror, but just to grant yourself a better life, a longer life, like where you can actually do more stuff, enjoy more stuff, and have the energy and have the stamina and endurance to do more of the things you like. So I don't know, if I could wish upon a star, maybe I would really love that heavy metal music kind of brought more the importance of fitness and taking care of yourself to everybody who listens to it. But in some way, it's already doing it, and so I would be really, really happy if that became even a bigger phenomenon.
Yeah. What's funny is that when I started the channel, I got a lot of resistance from metal heads, because the channel was initially to inspire metalheads, to get healthier, to take care of themselves. But there's still, I'm thinking, like, a lot of this, oh, it's all about, sex, drugs, and rock and roll, and it's all about like trashing your body, and that's what the whole image is of rock and roll and metal and stuff, right? So that's kind of still, it's deep-seated still with, amongst a lot of metalheads. But what I didn't expect was that when I was interviewing musicians, that the musicians were the ones who were very, very interested and happy with the channel. Like, oh my God, this is amazing that you're doing this, because that's what we're actually doing. We are actually taking care of ourselves, and we realize that you can't just run your body to the ground and expect to perform your best and stuff. So the musicians have got it, but now it's for the metalheads to kind of pick that up. So really good that you said that.
I totally agree with you, and you have my utmost gratitude from myself as well, and my congratulations for your channel. And to be honest, like, of course, your channel popped up in my feed on Instagram just randomly, but as soon as I saw it, oh, what is this Jim Rock crew or what? It's heavy metal and Jim. That's great, and I totally agree with what you've already heard from other people, that it's great that you are doing this, that somebody is doing it, and that it's it's about showing just the regular metalhead that, working out, having a fit, healthy life has nothing to do with the excesses. You don't have to look like Schwarzenegger or anything like that. That's not about that at all. It's about living a better life in general, like with a better overall quality of life. And
Love that.
yeah, so it's amazing. Yeah, and I'll be honest with you, I'm really really honored and glad that you wanted to have this interview with me, and you accepted me on your channel. It's awesome. I'm really grateful. Thank you very much.
Anyway, thank you so much. I really love that message, and thank you for everything.